What does this Persona Web trait do? If you know this, then you probably are one of the fewer people who actually use it. Want to know some more things that you should use and that you shouldn't use in Identity V? Well, stick around and find out. One thing that I like to do on this channel is to give tips and tricks for people who are veterans and also who are beginners so that they can improve their skills and their knowledge in the game. Sometimes these tips are more concrete and sometimes these tips are more food for thought. But one thing that we can see when playing with friends, playing with randoms, playing in ranked or in quick matches, or even watching pro players play online, are that there are certain things that players avoid using and some that they always use. Starting with the things you should avoid, we're going to start with the Persona Web trait Mech Elite. This Persona Web trait increases the size of the calibration bar that happens when you are decoding a cipher. This can make it easier for you to not miss the cipher and alert the hunter. It increases it by 10%. Although this ability is very useful for beginner players, considering that they are still getting used to the game and still trying to not alert the hunter and not miss calibrations that we've all been through, I really can't think of any good reasons why anyone who has been playing the game for a decent amount of time should even use this trait, due to the fact that it doesn't impact the game in any way. Also, players who've been playing for a long time usually don't miss calibrations, and even on survivors where the calibration bar is smaller, you still usually won't miss it. For this reason, I haven't seen anyone use this, and most people don't even know what this Persona Web trait does. Another thing that you shouldn't take with you to a match if you're a hunter is the trait Listen. Although this trait is very prevalent in lower tiers due to the fact that it's the only ability that they have access to until they unlock more, this ability and this trait is never used in high tiers or in mid tiers or even in low tiers of players who've been playing this game for more than a couple of weeks. Why, you ask? Because this trait is easily counterable and makes no impact in the game at all. Listen permits you to see the location of survivors that are moving around the map, as long as you are listening to them. The problem is if the survivor stands still, then you can't see them. Listen also helps you see if people are decoding, but most people will just stop decoding and stand still as soon as the listen symbol appears. Another little trick is if you tiptoe or crawl, you can move and the hunter still can't see you. The only reason you will see this trait in high tiers is if the hunter is trying to do some type of meme or some type of joke, because it is completely useless in higher tiers. Lockers. Where to begin? I had a comment on one of my videos not too long ago talking about how the person felt that lockers are underpowered and need a buff, and after reading the message I could understand why. It takes too long to go inside of the lockers and to get outside of a locker. So you can't use it in a chase because by the time you've even got into the locker, the hunter is already right next to you and just waiting for the animation to finish. If you are found in a locker, you instantly get knocked down, you instantly get balloons, so there's no point of hiding there in the middle of a chase anyway. And if a hunter is near you and you don't know that they don't know your location, it still takes too long to go inside of a locker. You will see it sometimes in really clutch gameplays in tournaments, but usually it's a real surprise if someone does this, and it's really a bad idea and very risky. I feel like they should change the locker system and maybe get rid of them or make it so it's faster to go in and out of them, but I don't know. This persona trait is called Spectator, and I don't know anybody who uses it. Spectator does multiple things. It increases your movement speed by 10% when you're up within 30 meters of a knockdown or injured survivor, meaning that you can go and heal them up faster. To complement this, it also increases your healing speed by 20%. And it also shows you the locations of all injured survivors. Not ballooned, but injured survivors. So, although this trait seems to have a lot of different abilities and on paper it sounds quite good, the fact is that it isn't impactful enough. And due to the fact that it costs 40 persona points that you need to invest in it, you could have used those on any other thing, for example broken windows, maybe tide turner or borrowed time, or any other ability in between. The fact that it is way too situational makes it even worse. Now moving on to the things that you should use and should take with you in an Identity V match. As I mentioned before, Spectator is something that isn't worth your investment of Persona points, but one thing that is worth your investment of Persona points that everyone uses, or almost everybody uses, is Tide Turner. Tide Turner isn't something that every single member of a team should take with them, but there should at least be 1 or 2 players in the match who take Tide Turner with them. What does it do? It makes you invulnerable for 20 seconds after being rescued or rescuing someone, so that if the hunter hits you, you don't get knocked down, but you do take the damage after those 20 seconds have finished, absorbing all the damage that you would have taken whilst those 20 seconds were active. Not only does it help you with a rocket chair rescue, it also helps you with a cocoon rescue, and also when Percy has downed someone and you pick them back up by healing them, it will also activate Tide Turner. One warning though is that this can only be used once per person in a match, so this is why it might be necessary to have multiple players with Tide Turner. Why can this be useful is that it can give your team more time to decode, an extra 20 seconds, and it can even give the possibility to the person who was chaired to maybe escape the hunter and hide somewhere. Another couple of traits that are worth taking with you that are Persona traits for survivors are broken windows and borrowed time. Now, borrowed time is probably the most common Persona web trait that you'll see. Almost every person takes it with them. What it permits you to do is to heal yourself by 0.5 instantly as soon as the last cipher is decoded. This can make you stand up if you were knocked down, or heal you to full health if you were already at half health. This can be a game changer, especially at the end of a match. Now, moving on to broken windows, this is less common for everyone to use, but can be very useful. You'll very often see people take it with them. What this permits you to do is to get a speed boost after vaulting a window. This speed boost is a 50% speed boost after vaulting the window for 3 seconds. Unlike the previous Persona web traits that can only be used once, this Persona trait can be used again and again and again and again in a match, but there is a 40-second cooldown. If you are a hunter, then you need to take Tinnitus. This Persona trait is a necessity for a hunter. This passive trait will let you know when there is a survivor within 36 meters of where you are. To be able to know this, there is a little icon at the top left of your screen whenever there is a survivor within 36 meters of you. This can help you when you're defending a chair to know when someone is coming to rescue, or to locate someone either at the beginning of the match when you don't know where anybody is, or at any point of the match. Due to its really low cost of only 10 points, this is something that all hunters take with them. The last thing on this list that almost everyone takes with them in Identity V is Detention. Now this is a trait that a hunter can use that permits them to do double damage for 120 seconds after the last cipher has been popped. This can be a real game changer for any hunter and can turn any loss into a win. This trait isn't necessary for every type of hunter. There are hunters that will benefit from this more than others, and some that really don't need this. But in general, you'll see most hunters take Detention because of its overpowering ability. Are there any things that I've missed? Are there any things that you should take with you or shouldn't take with you that I missed? If you know any, tell me down in the comments below. And if you found this information useful, please give this video a like and subscribe if you'd like to find out some more tricks, some tips, and maybe some secret information about Identity V that you didn't know. Take care, guys.